Hello and thank you for watching this training video on the Coordinated Access System process for domestic violence agencies in the Homeless Collaborative of Dallas and Collin counties. You will often see Coordinated Access System referred to as CAS. CAS is a system response by our community to assess clients' needs, prioritize, and match them to the most appropriate housing intervention based on their need and our community resources. Our community has an existing process for CAS, but it will vary slightly for DV programs and clients by the nature of the additional privacy and security standards that are in place to protect our DV clients. In this video, you'll see an overview of the process so that you know what to expect when sending your clients through coordinated entry. COC and ESG-funded DV projects are required to take referrals through CAS. However, each community must determine whether the DV process follows the normal CAS process in that community or has its own separate but equal process for DV projects. Our community has decided on a somewhat hybrid system so that our DV projects can follow the same CAS process as the rest of the community while maintaining the safety and privacy of our DV clients. The document on your screen has been provided as a one-page reference for this process, and we'll look at each step in the process together. There will be a dedicated DV specialist at MDHA who maintains this process while maintaining a high level of confidentiality for clients in DV projects going through coordinated entry. Clients enter the homeless response system through DV shelters and LAP. These doors to our system are referred to as access points. When a client first arrives at shelter, safety and security are the highest priority. A basic safety assessment is completed, but no conversation about housing is part of this assessment. After about a week or 7 days, a needs assessment is completed, which includes the CAS diversion and intake assessment. While diversion should always be part of the CAS process, it is expected that a very large percentage of DV clients will not be diverted, because they're unlikely to have a safe place to live that they've not already tried to make use of themselves. As part of the CAS intake, the HUD assessment, VI SPDAT, and homeless documentation are collected. This information will be provided to the MDHA DV specialist within 24 hours of completion so that the client can be placed on the Housing Priority List, or HPL. The DV specialist will maintain a separate HPL for DV clients. This list will contain personal information, and it will be the responsibility of the DV specialist to maintain the confidentiality of this list. Access to personal information for these clients will ensure that the DV specialist is able to deduplicate clients from the DV HPL and our CAS queue or digital HPL inside Client Track. It will also allow them to ensure that referrals are sent in a timely manner and have direct contact with the client when possible or necessary. The client will be matched to interventions through our community's established match process and prioritized based on the community's current priority criteria, which may shift with real-time initiatives, surges in funding, or availability of community housing resources. Finally, the client is referred to a housing provider with the most appropriate available unit identified for the household. Once the client is connected to that provider and enrolled in their program, the client is exited from CAS. This concludes the DV CAS process for our community. If you have any questions about this process, please contact Trudy Hernandez at the email address on your screen. Thank you for watching and for doing your part to help the Homeless Collaborative end homelessness in Dallas and Collin counties.